Nothing like a triggered conservative man on the internet. I swear that they are quite possibly the most sensitive subgroup of person to ever exist. So I'm gonna prove you wrong. And the rhetoric that the leftist liberal man can't be rugged or strong and that there's some dichotomy when it comes to which way you lean politically as how manly you are, it's old, it's tired, it's embarrassing. Because you're also in and of itself being a misogynist by saying that having effeminate qualities makes you weak, therefore you think women are weaker than men, therefore you are the problem. But that's like a whole nother video.
So men do not think women are weaker than men. Men do not think this. It's just something that men already know. There's no thinking involved. It's just a fact. Statistically speaking, women are weaker than men. That's just a statistic. It's just a fact. There are a lot of things that men do better than women. There are a lot of things women do better than men. This isn't like the whole comparison thing is dumb, in my opinion. You know, you really shouldn't be comparing women and men. There's no comparison in certain areas. So that right there can kind of tell you everything about a woman like this, where they are constantly sizing themselves up next to a man. And you're always going to either start an argument with someone, because especially with men, because they're using logical common sense, and then the women are obviously going to back up the woman because, you know, girl power and whatnot.
Back to my point about your idea that liberal men can't be like rugged or strong or manly. I keep putting in quotes because it's all made up. It took me all of 2 seconds to think of at least a couple people to prove you wrong. So I'm going to show you with visuals how wrong you are. And when I'm done, you won't have a leg to stand on, because these men are undeniably very hot.
Okay, so the argument and the comment that was posted, which, again, if you want to get into that sort of conversation, you can. I think that the conversation is just idiotic to begin with. That's a comment the guy made. He can have that opinion. And she made a 2-minute video proving him wrong, she says. That she's going to show some men that are, I'm guessing, liberal, you know, from her definition. I don't know. I'm probably not going to know who any of these men are. She is claiming they're liberal and they're rugged and they are strong and all this stuff. Or they're just going to be attractive. That's the whole idea behind it. That they see a man they find attractive, and that's all it is.
Exhibit A, good trouble. Following him for a long time. Is he exactly my type? Yes. Is he very happily partnered? Also yes. He is on the left, and you might be thinking, she didn't prove my point. He's super weak. Well, he's also same guy. Pretty sure he's pretty strong. And then we have Exhibit B, Thorn. Granted, this isn't a mustache, which I put in my thing that I like, but I'd go full beard for this. Like, who wouldn't? But more importantly than the fact that he looks like this is that he also consistently makes videos for women's rights and all kinds of different basic human rights.
And in case any of you guys are keeping score out there with this video, this woman has successfully been able to move the muscles in her face 0 times. By the way, there has not been one muscle moved in this woman's face, not an eyebrow, not an eyelash, not a twitch of the lip. Everything is Botox firmly into place, fellas. Okay, those wrinkles are not going to show their nasty little heads until way later, until the Botox starts to wear off. She is completely syringed up to the max. Looks like she might have gotten a little filler as well. Maybe she got some buccal removal. You know what buccal is? That is the fat in the cheeks right here. Have you ever noticed how some women, their cheeks are kind of like this? They get that buccal fat removed out. It's sucked out to give them that sort of defined. Yeah, this is a whole thing that happens. I'm not saying she's done this, obviously. I'm just saying that it kind of looks like certain things have been done. It's kind of weird. You're making a 2-minute video and you haven't, no muscles have moved in her face. In case you guys are keeping, I'm just letting you guys know. All right, let's continue.
Crazy. And yeah, he looks strong here, but he also, as so many of us know, is this guy. Pretty strong. Pretty rugged. Almost positive not a lesbian. Which would also be hot, not gonna lie. You're just mad that you don't look like that. And women that are hot don't want you, they want men like that. And so you make these really dumb comments that are like very little D energy. You know what I mean? I will also die on the hill that the liberal man is exponentially better in bed.
Miscommunication here is one thing. That guy, he wrote 5 letters on a comment, so I highly doubt he was mad at anything. A lot of women will read a comment like that and say, oh, these men are mad. These men are making hateful comments. The guy he made a joke on your TikTok page. This is a joke. This is what is called a joke. Okay. He's not saying that they don't exist. That doesn't make sense. Okay, and I'm not saying that there's not a millionaire out there looking for a 45-year-old single mom with 3 kids from 3 different dudes and want to bankroll her life. I'm not saying those men don't exist. There might be a simp like that out there waiting for some of these women. I don't know. However, it's going to be very uncommon, very rare that a man would have no problem doing that and to settle for a woman like this whenever these men look, like this. It's not going to happen. So yeah, of course these women are attracted to these types of men. I don't know their political affiliations. I'm not sure what they believe in. Majority of these types of men are going to be the vegans, they go to Whole Foods. There's a type, is what I'm saying, is probably what this guy's getting at. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, especially when it comes to probably some of the types of men that this guy has ran into. And who knows? I don't know who this man is. I don't know who this woman is either. But I can honestly tell you that it doesn't matter how much Botox you put. Those types of men have, they're going to be getting with younger women that are just younger, better, just more attractive, and don't have implants and don't do Botox. Just stuff like that. Women in their 20s, not women in their late 30s to early 40s. Trying to look like they're in their 20s. I swear these women will make videos like this, bragging and doing all this stuff, knowing that they wouldn't even be where they're at right now without the $10,000 worth of surgery and injections and nips and tucks they've gotten to look the way they look, like right now. The amount of delusion that you have to get to that point. But what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to another video. We have a few lined up for us. Let's go ahead and hop into this next one.
So someone rude just told me I look old because of my hands. He's like, I could tell how old you are because of your hands. His ass look old because of his face. The audacity. These men.
And this is what I was saying in a previous video. I think you guys might have seen it where I said that is a good way you can tell the true age of a woman. Just look at her hands. The hands never lie. As far as I know, there's nothing that you can do for hands as far as surgeries or anything like that. So that is a good way to know if these women are trying to tell you that they're 31, 32, 26, and their hands looking like they're 55. Then you got your answer right there. Okay, women do not like being told their age, by the way. They want to be mistaken for their age. So I'm not sure why this woman wasn't wearing gloves. Usually a woman like this would at least have the common sense to wear gloves. But men see this type of stuff and they call it out because it's dishonest. You're spending thousands of dollars to get your face done. You got your teeth done, you got your face done. You're wearing the glasses to kind of distract from the face. It's probably a wig. You got this thing on which kind of hides the hairline for that forehead could go a little bit further back there. Nobody knows. This is all a facade. This is all a lie to a lot of men. And so obviously they're going to look at this and be like, okay, well, what's going on with her hands? And they're going to look at your hands and they're going to figure out, yeah, this woman is completely delusional.
Let me tell you something, ladies. Don't let them do it. They'll tell you anything. They will tell you anything.
It doesn't matter. The types of men these women are going for are going to be possibly a lot younger. Here is something interesting, is that when a woman is in her 40s and 50s and she is single, she will go to date men in their 40s and 50s. And then she will very suddenly realize, like, hey, I don't want to date men in their 40s and 50s, and they'll realize that it's just not working out. That's why these women are staying single. They have no choice. There's really no choice in the matter. I'm not going to say forced to stay single, but I mean, these women have no choice but to stay single their expectations are through the roof. Now, here's a series of videos from a woman who I went through her profile. I really don't know what's going on here. I'm guessing she had a fallout with her last boyfriend or whatever, and now she's posting single woman content. She's kind of testing the waters. You know how some of these women do. They test the waters. They announce that they're single, and they make all of these very vague and assuming comments about certain things that may or may not be true. Nobody really knows because obviously it's a woman and anything can happen. So we have a woman here who is 40 and she is single and she is trying to test the waters. And look, I'm going to go ahead and say it. She doesn't look too bad for 40. Okay. So there's that right there. She is still getting plenty of attention from different types of men, and it won't be until way later till she realizes that, well, the dating pool isn't as big or as clean as she once thought it was.
Here it is. I'm 40 and I'm single. How are y'all doing this?
We're not.
Oh, I have some stories though.
I'm sure you do.
Like, where are people's morals and values these days? Where are mine?
Nowhere.
Really? Maybe I'm worried about the wrong thing. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what I'm worried about. Maybe that's the problem. Am I done healing? Am I ready for this? Yeah, I'm just gonna get back to work and stop thinking about this. You know what's gonna be funny is when I watch this again next year to see how things have changed or unfolded. Peace.
I'm not sure what happened with the sound there. So that video is messed up somehow. Yeah, so this is a common occurrence. Women in their 40s, they're possibly getting divorced, or maybe they're long, the long-term boyfriend, long-term whatever it was, kind of tossed them to the curb when they found someone younger and hotter. And look, these guys, and then this is kind of hard to believe, that has a filter on there. It's kind of hard to believe that there are men that are this woman's age and they are living with this woman. They might be married. I don't know what the situation is. And it's a headache for them. It's a headache for them. They can get rid of this one and get someone that is more pleasant to be around, get someone that's going to be a better fit for these men because they got the money, they have the status, they have everything they need to attract a woman that is only looking for those things when they're young. So that's what these men do, leaving these women in this state here. And I don't even know what this state is. Where do you get to the point to where you're reaching out online to suck validation from random men? And yes, we can kind of, if you want to go into the comments, we can, but you know the comments, okay? You know the comments, it's going to be, good morning, beautiful. I'll marry you. We can get in a relationship. I have stories. We can meet for coffee. The comments are all men begging for her attention.
Part 2. Are they looking for girls like this? Do I need to? I mean, no offense. You do you, but I mean, I might even do this. Like, obviously not this big, but maybe I'll go get some fillers. Is that what you boys want? I thought you guys were wanting like genuine and like natural, and I mean, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've had luck with. That's just who I am though. Okay, but back to my original question, like, how are you doing this? All of you, male, female. What's been going on? Y'all want to hear some of my stories?
Not really. No, thank you.
I mean, I won't tell all, but I think my stories are fun.
They're not. They're always uninteresting. These stories, these 40-year-old women have to tell are very, there's nothing to them. Okay, because newsflash, telling random men online that you like to get your back blown out isn't entertaining for men. It's just kind of weird in a lot of different ways. And now we're back with the thrilling conclusion of this 3-part series of what are men and women doing about dating. And I'm going to go ahead and answer that question for her. The one she asked in the last video. In the previous video, she asked, how are men dating? Well, a lot of men are choosing not to date. And I'll tell you why. A lot of men are choosing not to date because these men are just average men. They have average lives, average jobs. They maybe have an average house or an average car. Everything is pretty much average in these men's lives. And so when they hop on a dating app or they go meet someone or they try to meet someone out in public or they approach a woman, they get rejected. They get rejected because women are now under the assumption that men should be one way when in reality that's never going to happen. They see social media and they see a lot of different men on social media making certain types of money, having certain types of careers, maybe owning certain types of cars, and they think that every average man that they come in contact with should also be doing that because their whole reality online is seeing men like this. Just like the previous video, okay? The muscular men with the chiseled jaws and the online persona that every woman wants. Every woman wants those men. They don't meet that standard. They ask them why. Why aren't you like these other men that I see online? Why are you just this average guy? That's boring. Yeah, it is boring. It is boring, and it only becomes not boring whenever these women have, hit the wall a few times and they realize that, well, them being sassy and smart aleck and being a nuisance and being a headache isn't going to get them far with men anymore, because men are not going to put up with it. They used to put up with it in the past. That's whenever they had their looks and they were younger and all this, but now they're not going to put up with it because there's really nothing to gain from putting up with it. All you're gaining is just a woman that's hit the wall and is acting like a bitch.
Part 3. Yes, I'm single. And yes, 40.
And look, I'm not going to take it away from this woman. She looks good for 40. Absolutely. But it's not the looks for a lot of men. It's the personality. It's the attitude. It's the addictions to social media and different things. So you can look as good as you want, but a lot of times these men are going to look at you and say, I'm not going to think a relationship with a woman like this is going to be good, only because she has been passed around like a stogie at the bachelor party too many times. They see the trauma. It's just, it's all written right there on their social medias.
But I'm a prize, baby. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Excuse me, but I was really overthinking the other day. I know what y'all are doing out there. Oh, the stories that I have. I've been doing a little market research. The verdict is in and I'm still a prize. Although, stay tuned. I might do some more of these.
Yeah, of course you will. You'll definitely do a lot more of those. The market research is, of course, the previous videos of her testing the waters, getting the comments. Let's go ahead and let's go through some of these comments here. Oh, here we have a guy. His name is Cash. Some things in life make no sense to me at all. How in the world are you single? You're absolutely gorgeous and funny. I just don't get it. Surprised emoji, fire emoji. I mean, I think that's kind of easy to answer. It's the trauma. It's the trauma. There is so much trauma with women in their 40s. It is unmeasurable in a lot of instances. So, right here, yes, of course. Attractive, quirky, funny, making funny videos for attention, sure. It's just not worth it. A lot of guys are looking at women like this and say, look, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the aggravation. And in the end, it's not going to be worth the disappointment, because what happens to women like this, the same thing that has been happening to them every single time they get in relationships. They find a man, they use this man for whatever reason. In her previous videos, she was using a man for, looks like, home renovations. He was helping her with her pool, and then he was doing something else. So yeah, I don't know. So if you want to involve yourself with women like this, so you can get used and then discarded at the end, more power to you, buddy. Go ahead and do that. A lot of men out there are actually looking for relationships. They get wrapped up into stuff like this, not knowing that these women are just using these men. These women are being dishonest, and you need to bring attention to this. These men do not know. Okay, these men are doing what good men do, and then these women are wondering, oh, where'd all the good men go? Well, let's see. You've been using them like Angie's List and treating them like crap. So no wonder you're single. No wonder men are staying away from you. I think you would have to be insane to approach a woman like this and get yourself involved with them. But let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment down below. Hope you guys have a good week, and I will catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.